The Miami Heat have made a massive splash in the offseason, of course, winning the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes, which was originally going to be a lot of teams, and then it seemed like the asking price was going to be a little bit too high, and it did seem to be the Heat beating out the Celtics for what was going to be the opportunity to get one of the best players in the league when he is healthy. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a player that I'm a fan of. He has been on my ESPN fantasy teams before. He's an absolute monster, of course, when he does go through and score in the paint. He's a very good defensive player as well. And I do think that playing alongside Bam and Adebayo, these are two of the better defensive players in one team. I think that this is going to be a very difficult duo to score on. My issue is I'm wondering where the scoring is going to come from because, of course, Bam has got, an 83-point game under his belt, so I don't know why I should be questioning Bam's offensive ability or Giannis's even by that extent, but overall for the entire team, when you do look at it, there's not necessarily a lot of shooting surrounding this team. That this is what we've got right now. This is what's confirmed. I know that there's a lot of discussions regarding maybe having LeBron James, and every sort of depth chart that I've seen involving the Heat signing LeBron James has LeBron playing the point guard, and I highly doubt LeBron wants to play the point. I think he'd actually rather play the power forward spot for the Timberwolves, which is an interesting rumor. The Pacers is another rumor involved in that too, but it does still seem like, despite that, there is still a lot of opportunity for the Heat to pick up a few guys. Apparently, Russell Westbrook is in rumors, and on top of that, they are interested in getting Klay Thompson. I think that they would just have to probably come into an agreement with Klay. I don't think that there really would be a trade involved there. I think that he would have to get released from the Mavericks to then sign for the Heat. But Klay on the Heat with Giannis would add shooting, even though he has been somewhat inefficient the last couple of years. He's still a massive three-point threat. Bradley Beal apparently could be a sign-in as well. DeMar DeRozan, of course, did get released by the Kings. I think he would be a very good selection by the Miami Heat, to be honest with you. D'Angelo Russell, I think, is gone now, unless they want to try and pick him up off the Mavericks. But overall, I feel like the Heat definitely do need to make a splash out of multiple players in this list. I personally don't think it's going to be LeBron James, but I do think in general there definitely is going to be one of DeRozan, Beal, Westbrook, maybe two of those three. And then on top of that, I do think that they're going to try and make some level of move for Klay Thompson or D'Angelo Russell. But where I'm kind of sitting with the Heat right now is, where are they going to end up? Because I think that the Washington Wizards, of course, acquiring Trae Young and Anthony Davis, I've mentioned them in a video, got a lot better. Tyrese Halliburton, their franchise player, is returning. I think he's going to make the Pacers a lot better. They've also got Zubac now. And then on top of that, I think the Nets are going to still be one of the worst teams in the league. I think the Bulls will be as well. I think they're going to be contending for that 4th to 10th worst spot, to be honest with you. The Bucks, of course, got a lot worse. I think the Heat got better. The Hornets got worse, in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. And then there's a bit of stagnation for a few of these teams. I think that a couple of the top teams got worse as well. The Pistons haven't really made any moves. The Celtics have got Paul George. Is that going to make them better? Is that going to make them worse? I don't know. But I'm not looking at the Miami Heat with Giannis and Bam, maybe a hot take, as a top 4 or 5 seed. I actually think that Giannis and Bam, this team, especially if Giannis is not going to be healthy for the whole season, are actually going to be contending in this 5, 6, 7, 8 sort of number here, to be honest with you. So I'm a little bit worried about how far this Giannis and Bam team is going to go. Do you think that Giannis and Bam could be a top 4 seed? I personally don't think so. I think that the Knicks are still going to be competitive. Not much of that roster of the main pieces really changed. I think on top of that, I think the Celtics are going to be sneaking competitive too, because you've got Tatum, who some people, of course, believe is much, much better than Jaylen Brown. And then you've got Paul George, which is an underrated piece, in my opinion. I think the Pistons didn't really change. If they lose Duran, I think that they're going to suffer a little bit because they kind of need him. In my opinion, they need a center. I don't think that they've got anyone because they traded away Beef Stew. And then the Cavs are going to be the same unless LeBron signs with them. We'll see. The 76ers got much better. I'm looking at this East right now, and I'm thinking, I think that it's going to be very competitive for the Miami Heat with Giannis to get involved in these top 4 seeds. I think they're going to be competing anywhere between 5 and 8. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments below.